Hi, welcome again to another edition of Chair Yoga. Just a few reminders. Make sure that you have today a chair, preferably without any arms on it, as well as that chair is on a very sturdy surface, so perhaps maybe on a mat or a rug or something that doesn't slip. And today we're actually not going to need too many props. However, if you do feel the need to, grab a belt or some sort of rope or something like that for assistance, you certainly can, as well as a block and a blanket. However, this morning, what I thought I'd like to do, or today, what I'd like to do is we'll begin with our pranayama as we normally do, but I wanted to show you a couple of postures, and then what we'll do is we're going to try to link those postures together, okay? So we're just going to start this morning, so find a nice comfortable position, maybe taking your hands and kind of rubbing them a little bit, getting that energy flowing. And then just allow yourself to place those hands on top of your lap, maybe the palms faced upward so that you can receive the loving energy. And just soften the gaze on your eyes and just start to connect with your breath. Our breath is so important. So just start to connect with it. And just we're going to do what is called box breathing this morning. So taking a nice deep inhale into the count of, let's start with 2. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2, inhale for 2, and exhale for 2. Good. Now take that into 3. Inhale for 3, exhale for 3, inhale for 3, exhale for 3. Now try for 4. So inhale for the count of 4, and exhale for the count of 4. Good. So you decide which one is the best for you, because what we're going to do now is we're going to hold for the count the same amount of time, and then when we do the exhalation, we're going to hold that as well. So I'm going to do mine at a count of 4, but you decide if 2 or 3 is best for you. So it's going to be like this: inhaling for the count of 4, I'm going to hold for the count of 4, I'm going to exhale for the count of 4, softening my belly, I'm going to hold for the count of 4. And then I'm going to repeat that, okay? So here we go. Inhaling. Exhaling. And I'm doing the hold in between. So here we go again. Inhaling. Hold. Exhaling. And hold. Okay. So we're going to do 3 more rounds, very quiet right now. Okay, so you go ahead and do your breathing, and I'm going to go ahead and do mine. Okay, here we go. Last one. Good. So that's just a little exercise that you can do with your breath. Again, it's called box breathing. Same count, inhalation, exhalation, and the holds in between. And it's just a way of kind of, getting the mind to connect to your breath, because the breath is just so important for us to have, a good pranayama practice, maybe, just a few minutes every day, and it will help with everything. It helps vitality-wise, it will help with your organs. It's just can't talk enough about how important the breath is for us. So now we're going to take that breath and we're going to take some movement with it. So here we go. So hands come out by our side, palms face up, and here we go. Inhalation comes up, the palms come up over the head. Exhale, they bring the body down alongside. Here we go again. Inhaling. Exhaling, drawing the palms down. And again, inhaling and drawing the palms down. Beautiful. Now, right at your heart center, really press the palms of the hands in. Kind of slide yourself off the chair a little bit. Plant your feet in firmly. Okay, so maybe lift the toes up first. Feel those, and then maybe take the heels up, bring them back down, maybe roll onto the outer edges of your feet, and then roll in, and then find all four corners of your feet. So lifting up, good, great. And then really feeling the sits bones settling into the back of the chair or into the chair pad itself, feeling the feet being grounded. So you really want to kind of gently engage your quadriceps here by pressing those feet in. Take a nice deep breath here, press the palms of the hands together. And as you exhale, open the palms up. Good. Now we're going to rotate our hands downward and we're going to work our wrists and shoulders a little bit. So just going to point the fingers down towards the floor and then flex them up and then point them down, flex up and down and up and down. Two more. Up and down. Last one, up and down. Beautiful. Now take the hands and flip the palms upward, getting that nice external rotation of the shoulder blades, palms facing up. Try to get your elbows as straight as they are. Lift up through the rib cage, broadening through your collarbone. Really kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit. Really reach those wrists and fingertips out long and wide. Good. And then we're just going to start to tap our shoulder and then open up. And tap and open and tap and open. Good. Tap and open and tap. Now the next time we come out, I should say come in, tap the elbows together. Try to get them as close together as you can. Then open and release. Tap, tap, open, release, tap, tap, open, release, tap, tap, open, release. Good. Tap, tap, open, release. Beautiful. Now take your left hand and just grab hold. Left hand's on top of the right. We're holding on to our shoulders as best we can. And we're just going to lift the elbows up. We're going to bring our knees together. And then we're going to exhale and start to move the elbows as close to the knees and the thighs as we can. And then it's an inhale, raising up, a little bit of an arch in the lower back. Lift those elbows as high as you can. Maybe they come up by your nose. And then exhale, coming down. And then coming back up. And again, reach the elbows as high as they can. A little bit of a back bend here, looking up towards the ceiling. And then coming down, and then open up your arms. And we'll do that to the other side. So wrap the opposite hands this time, giving yourself a beautiful hug. Nice little pat on the back for showing up this morning or today. And here we go. Inhaling it up. And then exhaling it down. Always allowing the breath to help you make the movement happen. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. And then one more, we'll go inhaling it up. And exhaling it down. Good. And then coming back up. We're just going to open up the arms again. So a little bit more on the shoulders. So we're just going to take our shoulders and start to round them back. So big circles. Maybe you can get the elbows involved and the fingertips. So maybe you're rowing a boat. Just kind of rowing them back. Make it nice and exaggerated. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades together here. Come up by your ears as best you can and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Really opening it up. Good. And then we'll take one at a time and we'll just go forward. So up and around, coming around forward. Let's take the hand up and over. Start to really bring it our big circles. Good. I'm doing with threes here, and then the other side, right? So one side's usually a little bit more crankier than the other, right? So just do the best you can. Be mindful of your own body and what you might have. And then up and back as far as, any kind of, I don't really like to call them limitations. Whatever your body doesn't really want to do for you that day, it's kind of gracefully bowing out for you, right? Good. And then coming back, good. And then just kind of shake your arms out a little bit, good. And then on the wrists. So just kind of roll the wrists around one way and then the other way, good. So let's talk about that. So we're going to take our fingers and clasp them. So just clasp them and notice which thumb is on top and which pinky is hanging on the bottom, okay? We're going to reach our elbows out nice and straight and then just kind of roll it around with some figure eights. Working through the wrists here. Good, and then unclasp and reclasp the opposite way, and we'll try to do those rolls the opposite way too. Kind of hard. Good. And then reach the hands out, unclasp the hands, and we're going to rotate the hands down and away from one another. So the back side of the hands are up against one another. I'm going to take my left hand up and over and grab hold of my hand, and I'm going to clasp this way, okay? So now what I'm going to do is take and roll that inward, squeeze those elbows together, lifting up, and then roll out, okay? Pressing them through the knuckles, feeling that in the upper shoulders, and then rolling it back in and rolling it back out. Press, 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 and then rolling it back in and out. Good. Now open up the fingertips, take it out, just kind of open up a little bit, and we'll take that to the other side. So hands come together, back side, lift up, clasp the opposite way. Let's see, that way? No, this way, okay? And then roll them up and back. And then up and back. And one more, rolling it up and back. Beautiful. And then just kind of shake that out. Good. All right. So now the old hips. So we're going to loosen up through the hip joint. So I'm just going to take my feet and just take the left leg out kind of at a V, and then the right one the same way. Scooching myself right onto the edge of the chair, okay? Now, if you need to hold on to the side of the chair, go right ahead on the back side, you can do that. I'm going to put my hands on my thighs. I'm lifting up nice and tall here. And I'm just going to start to roll around in the pelvic fold. This is a great way of just loosening up our lower backs. So when we sit a lot, what happens is we get a lot of congestion in our lower back. So just from gravity taking hold, gravity pulling us downward, pulling the spine downward, and then the spine kind of gets jammed into the sacrum. And this is what causes us kind of that ache and pain. So now we're just kind of loosening up the energy in that area so that it can kind of move its way up through the body, giving you a little bit more energy, okay? Rolling it around, good. And then we'll pause and we'll just kind of roll around the other way. Good. Nice and slow and gentle. You might hear a couple of cracks and pops, that's okay. Good. Beautiful. And then bringing your feet back together, lifting up nice and tall, belly buttons into the back of the spine. Take a beautiful inhalation up. Exhale, hands back at that heart center, pressing the palms once again in towards your chest and towards each other. Beautiful. Take a big breath here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my left knee here and I'm going to kind of slide over to the corner of the chair. So I'm like sitting kind of off the corner of the chair. I'm lifting up nice and tall. I'm going to take that same hand and reach it out as if I'm shaking somebody's hand, okay? And first we're going to open up this way. Now what I want you to do is swing that shoulder back, but keep your hips right in line on that corner of the chair. So the hips aren't moving, it's just the arm and that torso. You're twisting around with the torso. You can use that inner right hand on the inner side of the right knee to kind of press in for a little bit more deeper twist, looking over that left shoulder, and then bring it back, okay? So don't start so deep, maybe only go here for the first one, and then bring it back, and then maybe you go a little deeper, and bring it back, and then maybe finally even a little even deeper, swinging right around, looking, okay, and then coming back. Then we're going to take this hand down, we're going to take the other one up, and we're going to move it across the body. So we come across the body first, and then open and twist around, and then coming across the body, and open and twist around. And again, just start out slow, start out gentle, don't go so deep, and then with each one, maybe go a little deeper, okay? Good. And then we'll just swing around to the other side and do that on the other side. So again, this foot stays right in line with the middle legs of the chair, facing frontward. This one's off to that side. I'm going to raise that hand up. And first we're going to open up the gate here. So we just open up, don't go so far the first time. And again, each side's a little different. And then maybe a little bit further. And then this time let the head follow the hand all the way back. And come back to center. Good. And we'll take it with the other one now. So this one starts across the body, and then we open it up. And then we come across, and we open. Nice little twist in that lumbar spine, and then back, and twist. Beautiful. And then bringing those feet back to center. We're going to take that inhale up, and exhale, hands come down. Beautiful. Now we're going to take you through a couple of postures. The first one is going to be Virabhadrasana 1, or what we also call Warrior 1. So I'm going to again take this left leg. Now this time I'm going to take the left leg all the way over off the side of the chair. okay? My right knee can come in like so, all right? So I can have my knee at an angle, pointing the knee down. If you have the flexibility, you can straighten that leg out, lifting up through the kneecap and allowing yourself to get this beautiful bend in that back. So this is like a heart-opening posture. If you find that your feet are kind of dangling off, this is where we would bring in our blocks. Excuse me, I'm going to grab one. So you would grab a block and bring the block here, bring the foot onto the block, and it would be like so, okay? So for me today, I'm not going to use the block, okay? My chair is a little bit lower to the ground today, so my short legs can make it, okay? Now I'm going to hold on to the back side of the chair to help with that extension in the back, and then I'm going to raise my outer arm up, and then if I feel safe, and only if I feel safe and secure, then I can raise up both hands. Good. And then we'll swing around to the other side and do that on this side. So again, the right leg comes all the way across the side of the chair. This is why it's best to have a chair without arms today. And then taking this leg, and again, you can either bend it in or straighten it all the way out. You find what works for you, okay? Use your block if you need to bring your foot up a little bit. But you want to have a nice 90-degree angle on that leg that's over the right leg. So that right knee down to the heel. I'm going to hold on to the back side of the chair to help with my back bend. And then I'm going to lift my outer arm up. Belly buttons into the back of the spine. Lifting up and lift the hand up. And then bringing my hands down, I'm going to rotate around. Okay, good. So the next one is Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. And it's almost the same except for our hips stay focused towards the right. This one, Virabhadrasana 1, we're opening up through our chest. This one, we want to open up through the sacrum area and the hip area. So again, now I'm going to take my left leg, I'm going to move it over to the left side of the chair. This time, instead of turning my whole body around, I'm going to stay focused towards the front. And I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to slide it out. Now here, a lot of times this is a little bit more difficult for this extension to have it this way. So you can slide that leg kind of at an angle out to the side. As long as your hips are squared towards the front, that's what we're trying to accomplish, okay? I'm going to slide this leg out and over because I can do it on this side. When I come to this side, it might be a little different. And then inhale up, arms come out, nice angle, and then soften through the gaze as you gaze over the fingertips. And again, it's about drawing that beautiful energy inward, containing it, bringing it into the belly to let the belly rise up and help you get the length in the side body. Squeezing the shoulder blades together so that the collarbones are just broadening, allowing ourselves to create some space in the body to bring in more breath, more prana, more energy. Okay, looking over those fingertips. Okay. And then coming back together, hands come together, and we'll do that onto this other side. So here we go. Right leg goes way over onto the side of the chair. This leg goes out. And now for me today, I'm going to leave my leg on this side at an angle a little bit. I'm going to turn and dial my hips forward a little bit. I've got that angle going, right? And then I take a nice inhale up and gaze over those fingertips. Okay? Beautiful. And then bringing that together. So another posture we can do is seated, is called angle pose. And we've done this before as well. So you take that Virabhadrasana 2 pose. So I'm going to move over into Virabhadrasana 2 here, okay? But now what I'm going to do is take my elbow onto my thigh. I'm going to take this shoulder and roll it back, okay? You want to have this nice shoulder, this right shoulder is moved back, and then you can sweep that arm up, and then if you have the ability, you can sweep it up over your head, reaching. Now you're creating this beautiful length through the whole side right, the right side of the body, from the toes to the fingertips. And the idea is to start to gauge yourself upward, so you're rotating the rib cage up towards the ceiling as you look up towards the ceiling. And this is what we call our angle pose, okay? Coming back up, bring those feet together, and we'll take that on the other side. So this time, I'm going to take my foot out, and again, it can be out to the side, lifting up, drop my elbow down, lift up and over, reaching, and then rotating the chest upward so that you can maybe look under your armpit a little bit, really getting some beautiful length here. Good. And then sweeping that down and around, taking your hands together, and then we're going to inhale up, and then exhale, forward fold, sweeping it up, and hands come to heart center. Okay, great. So those are just a few little postures that we can do, and what I'd like to do now is link them all together. So we're going to include that other stretch that we did, that twist. So we're going to do 4 postures on one side and then 4 on the other and create what we call a flow, okay? So here we go. So take another inhale up. Exhale, the hands come down to our heart center. I'm going to open this leg to the side. I'm going to turn to the side, reaching that arm out. And here we go. Open and close and open and close. A couple more, or one more anyways. 3. Good. Bring that hand down and then cross this hand over and then open and twist around. Back. Twist around. Come back. Twist around. And come back. Beautiful. Now I'm going to bring myself in and I'm into Virabhadrasana 1, reaching up. Maybe take a little bit of a back bend. Coming in to Virabhadrasana 2. And then up and over for Virabhadrasana Armchair Angle Pose. Coming back to center, feet come in, take a breath in. Hands come down to heart center. This leg stays there, we turn to the corner, lifting up, nice and tall, reach the hand out and twist it open and come back to center, twist, center, and twist, center, hand comes down, we're reaching over, we're opening up, reaching over, and opening, and across, and opening. And then I'm going to just come right around, finding my Virabhadrasana 1 on this side, lifting up, taking that arm up, a little slight back bend, sweeping right into Virabhadrasana 2, looking over our fingertips, really engaging your abdominal muscles by drawing that belly button in, bending the elbow, and we're going to reach up over our heads, kind of take a little look under our armpit for that angle pose, and then sweeping that arm up, bring those feet in, take another inhale up, kind of come forward a little bit, and then inhale up and forward, and then inhale, hands come to heart center. Good. So that is just how you kind of connect the puzzle pieces to create a little bit of a flow going from one posture to the next. So good job. And you can add as many as you like. You can do it as many times as you like. And, and you can do it standing or seated, okay? So for now, we're going to take ourselves into a few little stretches I just want to take before we close today. Work a little bit on those hamstrings. So we're going to take my left foot out. I'm just going to point and flex that foot a few times, really opening up through the back of that hamstring. And then draw the knee in, give it a big squeeze, maybe roll the ankle around a little bit. One way and then the other. And then taking it to the other side. So just nice, gentle pointing and flexing. And this is something you can do while you're watching TV, you know? Point and flex. Point and flex. Good. And then drawing that knee in, give it a good hug. Really roll around that ankle one way or another. Doesn't really matter as long as it's kind of moving the joint. And then hold on to the side of the chair, and we're going to do both feet at the same time. So here you got to lift up, squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another, point your feet as best you can, and then flex and point and flex and point and flex. And then drawing your knees up. 1, whoop, 2, here we go. Balancing, and if you can't get there, don't worry about it. And just kind of squeeze both of them together best you can. You could even come down here and squeeze and lift up, okay? Good. And then we're just gonna windshield wash our feet a little bit, back and forth. Bringing our feet back together again, and then rubbing those fingers together again. We'll take some nice gentle inhale up and exhale, and then rub again. Inhale, exhale. And then this time when you rub, place your fingers on your forehead, right between your eyebrow, and then draw like a heart on your face. So draw your fingertips up towards the hairline of your face, coming down along the chin and creating a heart. Huh? Good. Beautiful. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And I remind you all that the love and the light that you continue to shine upon me is that same loving light that I shine on you. Namaste. Thank you.